Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020 or 2020. And today's weather is windy and cloudy. Not a great day to play outside today, but maybe later. Maybe the sun will peek out for us. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about plants. Because in the spring, new plants start to grow. Maybe if you've taken a walk around, you've seen flowers blooming and grass is growing. I know we've cut our grass a couple of times. I love to take a walk and see people's gardens blooming. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about plants. So here is a diagram of a plant. This is a flower. This is a tulip because that's my favorite flower. But there are different parts of a plant. Let's start at the bottom here. These little brown squiggly lines are the roots. The roots are the part of the plant that are under the ground that we can't see. And then we come up here and we have the leaves. Some plants have a lot of leaves, some plants only have a few. And then we have the stem. That's the part that holds the plant up. And then at the top we have the flower. So we have roots, leaves, stem, and flower. Now, the roots are what hold the plant in place under the ground. So when the wind comes and blows like it's blowing today, the plant doesn't get swept away. It holds the plant into the ground. The leaves take sunlight and water and air, and they help the plant make food. And then any of the water that's under the ground and any of the food from the leaves comes up through the stem. So the stem holds the plant up and it helps the plant get water and nutrients, and it takes it right up to the flower that grows. Some flowers have seeds in them and some plants make fruit. Okay, so there's different kinds of plants and different kinds of flowers. Now when you see a tree outside, the tree trunk is actually the stem of the plant, and it's a big one. So sometimes you'll notice on the sidewalk too that there'll be roots coming up, and you can see the sidewalk is uneven, or if you walk across the lawn, you can see the roots, and sometimes you have to be careful you don't trip over them, because trees are huge plants, so they need big roots to keep them in the ground. Now, plants need several things to stay alive. They need water, either from the rain that falls, or if you're planting a garden and it's dry, from the hose, right? So they need water. They need sunlight. Sunlight gives them warmth. And then they need soil. You have to plant your seeds in the soil because the soil gives them nutrients and food that they need. So soil, sun, and water are three main things that a plant needs to grow. Now, I have a story I want to read to you. It's called What Do Roots Do? And it's by Kathleen Kudlinski and illustrated by David Schupert. There's our title page. What do roots do for the plants above? They hold them up straight when the wind gives a shove. They hold them upright when the ground's on a slant. They hold them in place if you play on the plant. There's a little boy and he is swinging from a tree, right? And the tree's not bending, it's not falling over because the roots keep it nice and safe in the ground. How else do they use this underground link? Plants are all thirsty. They use roots to drink. So you can see this picture. This would be under the ground, all the different roots underneath there. And when it rains and there's water in the ground, the water seeps down and then the roots suck it up. It's kind of like a straw. The roots branch out small, then tinier still. The teeny root hairs drink the thirsty plant's fill. Roots suck in water, they send it up high, through tubes far too tiny to see with your eye. That plant has a lot of roots. Water flows up through rootlets, then tap roots. Look at that tree. Look at all of those big roots under the ground. And then it flows up through the trunk and then into the branches. So the roots help pull that water all the way up through the stem, all the way to the branches. And then it pulls them through the twigs and until each leaf's drunk all the water it needs. And then way up there, the rest blows away on a breeze in the air. So it takes the water all the way through that whole entire plant or tree, all the way up to the top. Palm, pine, or maple, it always is true. Half of the tree will be hidden from you. These are all the roots of the trees underneath. That's the part of the plant that we can't see. Shadowed by treetops, green ferns and moss grow, so do their roots in the darkness below. So little plants will have smaller roots, and bigger plants will have bigger roots. In sunny yards full of grass, weeds, and clover, you could see all the roots if you turned the dirt over. But you wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be wise. When you break off its roots, a plant often dies. That's why when we pick flowers, they're no longer attached to the ground in their roots, and they live for a little while, but then they end up dying. They need their roots to live. Your garden is brightest and makes the most flowers when the roots have been watered by hose or by showers. Plants get thirsty and they need a drink too. Food grows in the garden in vegetable row. Some ripens in sunshine, but some hides below. Carrot and radish, potato and beet, the underground root is the part that we eat. So some fruits and vegetables like carrots and potatoes and radishes, the root that's under the ground is actually the part that we eat. So when you pull a carrot out of the ground, we're not eating the stem, right? We're eating the root that was underneath. That's kind of cool. The roots of a cactus spread far to the sides or reach deep in the soil for water that hides. We know that a cactus is a plant that lives in the desert where it's very hot and it has to store its water in its stem. So very little water falls, so the roots have to spread out deep to find it. And even in ponds, water lilies have found the best way to grow is with roots in the ground. So even in a pond, the water lily's roots go all the way down into the dirt underneath. So under each tree is a tree made of roots, and under each rose and beneath bamboo shoots. Whenever you look at a plant, short or tall, remember you don't see the whole thing at all. The roots are the hidden part of the plant. And that, boys and girls, is the end. Now, I wanted to show you one more thing before I go. I sent some work for you yesterday through email, and if your moms and your dads got it for you, there was a paper in there that looks like this. It looks like a flower. And if we were in school, we'd be doing this together and answering all of the questions. So in the middle is a spot for your picture. You can put a photograph or you can draw yourself. And then it says your name. So I put Mrs. Puma. It asks your favorite color. Mine is purple. I should have probably colored that color, that purple, huh? My favorite food, chocolate. My favorite story is Love You Forever. My favorite sport is hockey. My favorite subject is social studies. I like to learn about things happening in the world. And my favorite thing to do is to shop, bake, and read. I also love crossword puzzles. And then my favorite holiday is Christmas. So if you want to take yours and answer your questions and color it, you can add a stem to it if you'd like, or you don't have to. And if someone in your family wants to take a picture and send it to me, I would love to see it. Anyway, boys and girls, I hope you learned a little bit about plants today, and I miss you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.